Imagine spending like $3 million and 2 full years building a custom delivery app for your new startup, only to get absolutely crushed in your local market by a teenager who built the exact same technology this morning for 30 bucks.
Right. Yeah, it happens every day now.
It's insane. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are looking at a stack of sources detailing the top white label delivery platforms for startups in 2026. And, our mission today is to help you understand how modern founders are launching fully branded delivery empires in literally a matter of days.
Because it is 2026, and the days of spending 18 months to build an ordering app from scratch are completely 100% dead.
Oh, completely dead. Okay, let's unpack this. The core concept here is the white label delivery platform. And the sources actually use a brilliant analogy for this.
A car analogy, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you wanted to start a car company today, you wouldn't start by mining your own iron ore or trying to, reinvent the internal combustion engine.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Right. Building an app from scratch is exactly like manufacturing the engine before you build the car. These white label platforms give you a proven, high-performance engine. You just design the car, slap your logo on it, and you own the business.
Yeah, and we should probably clarify what that engine actually includes.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people assume it's just, a simple website.
Yeah, like a basic storefront.
Exactly.
Oh.
But in 2026, it's a massive interconnected ecosystem.
Yeah.
I mean, a true white label platform gives you the customer-facing apps, the ones you actually download from the App Store.
Right.
But it also gives you dedicated driver apps with built-in navigation for your logistics team. It provides merchant panels so the restaurants or grocery stores can manage their inventory in real time.
Wow.
And, it gives you a central admin dashboard to oversee the entire thing. The magic is that every single one of those touch points is fully rebranded with your specific colors, your logos, your fonts. To the outside world, it looks like you have a massive Silicon Valley engineering team.
Which is just an incredible illusion for the customer.
Oh, absolutely.
But let's look at the actual execution of this. Because if the biggest driver for startups right now is speed, because being first to a local market usually matters a lot more than having a perfect custom coded system, we need to start by looking at the platforms built for absolute velocity. The launch in minutes crowd.
Speed really is the defining metric for early-stage founders today. And Deonde perfectly illustrates this. Our sources highlight how a completely non-technical founder can use Deonde to launch a commission-free system in literally minutes.
Wait, hold on. Literally minutes.
Yes, literally.
I get that it's fast, but break that down for me. I'm a founder. I'm sitting at my laptop with a cup of coffee. How exactly am I launching a complex delivery system in the time it takes to finish my drink without writing a single line of code?
Well, it's essentially drag-and-drop architecture at this point. You aren't provisioning servers or setting up databases. You just sign up, you select a template that fits your industry, and then you upload a spreadsheet containing your menu or your product catalog.
Okay, so just a basic spreadsheet.
Right. Then you upload your logo, connect your bank account via a payment gateway, and you're done. The platform automatically generates the app architecture behind the scenes.
That is wild.
Yeah, and Deonde splits this into two models to keep it simple.
Right.
There's Resto, which is for a single restaurant or a small chain.
Yeah.
And then Deonde Express, which is for multi-vendor marketplaces. You get real-time tracking and dispatch management right out of the box.
Okay, but if I'm playing devil's advocate here,
Sure.
if I'm paying a small monthly fee for Deonde and my competitor down the street is doing the exact same thing, aren't we just going to flood the market with identical cookie-cutter apps? If we all use the same engine, how is that a competitive advantage?
Well, what's fascinating here is that the technology itself is no longer the differentiator.
Oh, interesting.
You're right, the underlying code functions identically.
Yeah.
But that's where a platform like Tookan comes into the conversation. Tookan is framed by our sources as the ultimate startup-friendly MVP builder.
MVP being minimum viable product.
Exactly. And Tookan focuses heavily on extreme customization on the front end. So while the back-end dispatch logic is exactly the same, you can tweak the user interface so deeply that your app feels entirely unique to the customer.
Oh, I see. So it's the same chassis, but I can put a totally different sports car body over it.
Precisely. Because the technical barrier is gone, founders are now forced to compete purely on the things that actually build a long-term business.
Like the brand.
Yes, you are competing on market understanding, customer trust, and brand strength. You win by knowing exactly what your local neighborhood wants, right? By offering better customer service or by curating better local vendors. You win by being the best local operator, not the best software engineer.
That is a huge mindset shift. It's almost liberating, honestly.
It really is.
And speaking of operators, if we look at sheer scale in this speed category, ordering.co seems to be the heavy hitter in our research.
Oh yeah, they are massive.
Yeah, they've been around since 2012, processed over $1 billion in sales. But what stood out to me is that they support like 52 different business models with no code tools. What does that actually mean in practice?
It means they've mapped out the specific logic for almost any type of delivery business you can imagine. I mean, delivering hot pizzas requires completely different software logic than, say, delivering heavy construction materials, B2B.
Right, or delivering sensitive pharmaceuticals.
Exactly. Ordering.co allows a founder to essentially select their business type from a drop-down menu, and the platform instantly reconfigures the logistics, the checkout process, and the vendor panels to match that specific industry.
That's incredible. Okay, so that covers getting a simple app up fast or, validating an idea quickly. But let's follow the logical progression of a successful startup. What happens when your local app just explodes? Suddenly, you aren't just managing 3 local bakeries anymore. You want to build an Amazon-style multi-vendor hub or manage a massive network of cloud kitchens. The basic plumbing of a simple app is going to break under that kind of pressure, right?
Oh, absolutely. The complexity of routing a single pizza is linear, but the complexity of managing a user ordering, say, sushi, a burger, and a coffee from 3 different cloud kitchens in the same facility,
Oh, wow.
and having one driver pick them all up simultaneously, that is exponential chaos. And for that, our sources cite Yumm as the 2026 benchmark.
Let's define cloud kitchen real quick for anyone who isn't familiar. We are talking about massive commercial cooking facilities that have no dining room, no storefront, and they exist purely to fulfill delivery orders for multiple virtual restaurant brands, right?
Exactly. They are basically data-driven food factories.
Yumm.
Is going to handle that specific heavy-duty infrastructure. It manages single restaurants, sure, but its real power is in handling complex multi-vendor and hybrid delivery models. And interestingly, they include a full year of free technical support, which is a massive signal to you as a founder.
How so?
Well, it tells you they know this setup is deeply complex, and you are going to need an engineering partner to get the routing logic perfectly tuned for your specific city.
Ah, that makes sense. And what if you're stepping entirely outside the food industry? Say you're building a marketplace for, I don't know, local hardware stores or a citywide vintage clothing network.
Then you transition to something like Kart.
Okay.
Kart is tailored for broad Amazon-style multi-vendor e-commerce. It's less concerned with the physics of keeping food hot and much more focused on managing massive vendor catalogs, complex shipping variables, and, B2B or B2C tax structures. It's designed to be a digital shopping mall.
Which brings us to a massive hurdle. You build this beautiful digital shopping mall, you get 50 restaurants or hardware stores onto your app, but once a customer downloads it and orders once, how do you stop them from deleting it 3 weeks later?
The retention problem.
Exactly, the retention problem. And reading through our sources, that's where a platform like Flipdish, which is huge in Europe and North America right now, really caught my eye. Flipdish sounds less like an ordering platform and way more like a built-in digital marketing agency.
And that is a survival mechanism for 2026. Because in the delivery space right now, acquiring a new customer is incredibly expensive. Customer re-engagement is literally the only way your unit economics actually work out.
Give me an example of how that works in the software.
Okay, think about your own habits. You order a specific sushi roll on a Tuesday night. 3 weeks go by and you've completely forgotten about that restaurant.
Happens all the time.
Right. Well, Flipdish tracks that behavioral data. It knows your ordering cadence. So automatically, without the restaurant owner doing anything at all, the app sends a highly targeted push notification to your phone at 5:00 p.m. on a Tuesday, offering a 10% discount on that exact sushi roll.
Oh, that's smart.
It runs loyalty programs and targeted campaigns autonomously.
So the aha moment here is that you aren't actually running a food delivery business. You are running a data retention business that just happens to deliver food.
That is exactly right. But, and this is a crucial warning for anyone listening who is building a business model right now, you have to look closely at Flipdish's pricing structure.
Uh-oh, what's the catch?
They, like many platforms, use a subscription model that can scale based on your order volume.
Yeah.
It's fantastic marketing automation, but as your orders increase, your monthly software bill is going to grow right alongside it.
Oh, man. Which perfectly transitions us to the physical reality of all this, because having brilliant push notifications or a beautiful digital mall means absolutely zero if the physical execution is a disaster.
True.
I mean, if my ice cream arrives melted or my groceries take 3 hours, I am never using your app again, period.
Yeah, you're deleting it.
So how do these platforms handle the insane expectations of the 2026 consumer? We are living in the era of the 10-minute delivery economy.
The physical logistics are where delivery startups live or die, period. And this is where a platform like Hyperzod shines. Hyperzod is engineered specifically for quick commerce.
The 10-minute delivery model.
Right. And to achieve a 10-minute delivery, you cannot rely on human dispatchers looking at a map and guessing which driver to send. That's too slow.
Obviously.
Hyperzod uses automated dispatch and smart routing algorithms. It calculates traffic density, the time it takes to make a left-hand turn at a specific intersection, and the exact prep time of the items in the order.
It calculates a left-hand turn that's granular.
It is. It batches orders so intelligently that a driver never sits idling outside a store waiting for a second pickup. By shaving literal minutes off the route, it dramatically lowers the cost per order. And in quick commerce, where margins are, razor thin, saving 40 seconds on a route is literally the difference between profit and bankruptcy.
It's surgical precision. But what if you aren't building a marketplace from scratch? What if you are a massive grocery chain? You already have your own website, you already have a fleet of delivery vans, and you just want your logistics to run like Hyperzod.
Then you don't need a full white label platform, you just need the logistics engine. And that's where Onfleet comes in. Onfleet doesn't give you the front-end customer app. They focus purely on last-mile delivery management.
Gotcha.
Live tracking, proof of delivery, dispatch algorithms,
Yeah.
and they connect to your existing website through an API.
Okay, let's define API quickly for the listener. Think of an API like a digital translator in a restaurant. You are the customer sitting at the table. That's your website. The kitchen is Onfleet's complex logistics software. The API is the waiter who takes your order from the table, hands it to the kitchen in a language they understand, and then brings the food back out to you. It just lets two different pieces of software talk to each other seamlessly.
Exactly. So your existing website tells Onfleet's API, hey, we have an order going to this address, and Onfleet takes over all the physical routing and driver tracking.
But picture your own balance sheet for a second. If you are using Onfleet, they charge on a pay-per-delivery basis. What does that actually mean for the business owner?
It is a massive double-edged sword. I mean, Onfleet is world-class software, but let's say your startup goes viral. Suddenly you're doing 10,000 deliveries a week.
Which sounds great.
It does. But because you pay a microtax on every single delivery, your technology costs are scaling up aggressively with every order. You are effectively being financially penalized for your own volume success.
Ouch. Yeah, if your margins on a grocery delivery are already tight, handing over a fee for every single delivery could eat your entire profit margin. You are scaling your revenue, but your costs are scaling right alongside it.
Which leads us to a very specific, very vocal group of founders in 2026. The ones who look at that volume penalty and say, absolutely not.
The rug.
Right? These are the founders who are terrified of being locked into a SaaS ecosystem where they are basically just renting their business infrastructure. They want to own their destiny, the control freaks under the hood.
And it's a totally valid fear. I mean, if the SaaS platform goes down, your entire business is offline. If they hike their prices by 40%, you just have to pay it. You have zero leverage.
None.
And that brings us to Enatega. I have to admit, I completely geeked out over Enatega in our sources. They offer their front-end code, so the customer app, the driver app, the restaurant panel, as open source code on GitHub.
Which means the actual blueprints of the application are sitting there in public, completely free for your own developers to download, tear apart, and rewrite.
Exactly. You use Enatega's paid backend API for the heavy lifting, but you completely own and control the code that your customers actually touch. But here is where I am a little confused, and maybe you can clear this up. If the entire premise of a white label platform is to avoid coding and launch quickly without an engineering team, why on earth would a startup choose Enatega, where you suddenly have to manage source code? Doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Well, this raises an important question about the life cycle of a startup. Outgrowing a SaaS platform is one of the most common and, frankly, most painful traps founders fall into. Let me paint a picture for you.
Okay.
You launch on a simple $30 a month platform. It's great. Your business explodes. But then you realize you need a highly specific feature to dominate your local market. Maybe it's a unique tipping mechanism for your drivers or a direct integration with a niche local farm supplier.
Right.
So you submit a support ticket asking the SaaS provider to build it. They look at it and say, sorry, that only helps you. It doesn't help our other 10,000 clients. That's not on our development roadmap.
You are completely stuck. You've hit the ceiling of what their engine can do.
You are paralyzed. But if you chose a platform like Enatega or another one from our sources called Quickworks, which basically acts as a hybrid partner that builds the app but physically hands you the source code, you bypass that ceiling entirely.
So SaaS is like taking the bus. It's cheap, it gets you there fast, you don't have to worry about maintenance, but you have to follow their exact route.
Yeah.
Owning the source code with Enatega or Quickworks is like buying an off-road vehicle. It costs more, you have to hire a mechanic to maintain it, but you can drive it literally anywhere you want. You own the asset.
That is the perfect way to look at it. You get the fast launch of white label platform, but when you hit massive scale in year 2 or 3, you have the ultimate flexibility to build whatever custom features you actually need.
Pulling all these threads together, looking directly at your wallet and your long-term strategy, it really all comes down to how you pay for this technology. It's the ultimate financial choice, the SaaS subscription model versus the lifetime license model. Let's break down the math from the sources.
Let's do it.
The SaaS platforms like Tookan, Deonde, Ordering.co, they are incredibly easy to jump into. You're looking at maybe $29 to $200 a month to start. It is a completely frictionless entry point if you are bootstrapping a company out of your garage.
But contrast that with the lifetime license models like Yumm and Kart. These require a serious upfront investment. The sources estimate anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 before you even launch day 1.
Wow, that's a big check.
It is, but the trade-off is massive.
Yeah.
0 monthly subscription fees for the core software. You buy it once, and you own the license forever.
That is a staggering difference in strategy. How does a founder even begin to make that decision? I mean, $30 a month versus $20,000 up front.
The sources provide a really fantastic golden rule for this. The rule is, don't overbuild or overpay at the start, but understand that switching platforms later is always more expensive than starting right.
That makes a lot of sense.
You have to choose based on your actual realistic business goals, not just by looking at a checklist of cool features. If you are just trying to validate an idea to see if people in your neighborhood even want a cookie delivery service, go with SaaS. Keep your risk low.
Right.
But if you have venture funding and a clear mathematical path to high volume scale, swallow the upfront cost of a lifetime license or a code ownership model. It protects your unit economics so that when you are doing 10,000 orders a day, you keep the profits instead of handing them over in software fees.
That is incredible advice. Match the software to the business phase. Okay, let's wrap up this deep dive. If there's an ultimate takeaway from the 2026 landscape we've explored today, it's that technology is no longer the moat it used to be. The barrier to entry is gone.
Completely gone.
You don't need $1 million and an engineering team to start a massive delivery business anymore. The race is now won purely by your ground operations, your deep understanding of your local market, and the absolute trust you build with your brand.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it actually leaves us with a really provocative thought to consider.
Ooh, what's that?
Think about this. If absolutely anyone, anywhere, can launch a seamless, perfectly flawless delivery app in 48 hours for $29 a month, does the digital experience even matter anymore?
Oh, wow.
Right. If the software is perfect everywhere, will the true value of a delivery brand inevitably shift entirely back to the physical world? In a world of infinite, identical apps, will your only real competitive advantage be the politeness of your driver, the care taken in the packaging of the box, and that brief human connection at your front door?
Wow, that is deep. We spent all this time geeking out over software, writing algorithms, and source code, only to realize the human element is the only thing you truly cannot white label. You might buy the engine, but you still have to drive the car. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and we'll see you next time.